Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, it's been a week since I uploaded the update on my apricot tree. And as you can see, the color has actually changed. Now we can see an actual orange color, so it looks much better now, and they're ready to harvest. Let's check out a close-up of the fruit. Now here's some. Now you can see a much better color, has orange. I do have to be careful because some do have a hint of green, but most of these, as we can see, they're ready. I mean, this is the color that you want to see. It's an orangey color. I hope this camera can capture that color. I mean, in person, this right here, this side is a light orange color, and of course when you get the sun you get a dark orange color. But let's have a bite and see how it looks like on the inside. Oh yeah, these are ready. Now you can see they're softer. When it was still green, it was very firm. Oh, that's a nice breeze that we're getting right now. But back to the video. They're softer, and that means they're ready to harvest. Now, on this smaller tree, I actually harvested everything already, and I ate it, which was really good. Like I said, this tree was grown from seed from this one, and it actually grew a really good fruit. It was really good tasting, so the flavor is there. Not sure about the quantity, but we'll see next year. Now, you guys had a few questions about growing an apricot tree and growing trees in general. Now, trees are large, which means they usually like full sunlight. One person was asking whether this apricot tree like shade or full sunlight. No, it wants full sunlight. Now, as we can see, this smaller one, I mean, it gets full sunlight. This large one, full sunlight. Now in the summer, it does require some water. I like to plant a few plants nearby. As you can see, these are blueberries, right? And they're almost ready too. And when I water the actual blueberries, all this ground, my apricot tree gets watered too. That's why I like to keep plants nearby, which I water these plants specifically, but it gets watered. The apricot tree gets watered. For this small one, I planted this one. It's almost like a triangle, this area, and I water this area just to water the apricot tree. Now over here is actually mint, and when I water the mint, right, when I see the mint that's nice and green, vibrant, that means there's enough humidity here for the mint and the tree. So I use a little bit of companion planting to make sure your tree has enough water. Now, of course, when it has fruit, it'll require more and more water. So make sure there's enough humidity nearby. I mean, as you can see, the ground is wet, humid, so I do water it, especially when it's loaded with fruit. I mean, look at this. Look at this fruit. I mean, it's all really good right there. It's loaded, so it's gonna require more moisture. Now, another person was talking about chilling hours. As I mentioned, apricot, apples, cherries, plums, all these trees require some chilling hours, so they generally grow towards colder climates. If you go towards warmer climates like tropical climates, they won't grow because they won't set fruit, it won't flower. it needs those chilling hours to set the flowers, otherwise it won't flower. Now this year, interesting enough, we didn't get too much rain, and when it rains, it's in the springtime when the tree has lots of flowers. But since we didn't get that rain, it was able to set fruit because the pollinators, the bees, were out there. They were working, they were doing their job. Plus the rain kind of washes away the pollen from the flower, and it doesn't let it set fruit as much. So all the lack of rain actually helped the tree set more fruit, and I got this bountiful harvest. Look at this. Yeah, everywhere I look, there's lots and lots of this delicious apricots. Now, what else? Another person wanted to know how to prune your tree to actually get this much fruit. And there's not much to it. Just remember, last year's growth, the branch growth, will be the following year's fruit set. So basically, branches that grow this year will be the branches that set fruit next year. So this year I didn't get new branch growth, right? Because all these branches set fruit and it's not using all the energy to grow new branches. So after harvesting all this fruit, I'm gonna go in there and start pruning, do some heavy pruning, and the tree will actually start growing new branches, and those new branches will give me fruit next year. Now, if you're just starting from the beginning, I want you to have a look at this. This right here was one large branch that basically cut off, and you can see we have new growth. One branch here, another there, another one over here, and those branches are what actually set fruit. So by pruning, and do a heavy pruning, don't be afraid of pruning this heavily, right? Because you can see all these branches are thin, right? They're not very thick. Look at my hand. I mean, they're thin. So that's a new growth, and that supports all the fruit set, right? So next year, if I don't prune it, I'll get very few apricots next year. So if I want to get new apricots, I have to prune it, force the tree to grow new branches. Basically, that's all there is to it. Now guys, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And one more thing, I do put some trees in the shade. That's because they're in pots, and the reason for that is I don't want the pot to dry out, because it is the summer. We get 100-degree weather, and I'm not watering every single day, so because I don't have time. So what I do is put the pots in the shade so they don't dry out, and I water every other day. I mean, that's just to help me water. But those trees, if I wanted them to grow really fast, I would put them in full sunlight, give them plenty of water, and they'll actually start growing. All right guys, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.